shout out all the subscribers, everyone that likes, comments and shares. Just thinking about a couple of stories about officers, prison officers, screws, kangaroos, screws. Yeah, I've said a couple of times that I've dealt with some alright screws in a few videos, you know. Said that they are all out to get you. Believe me, they're all out to get you. They're not going to back you up over all the other screws, are they? But that's just in my opinion. Everything I say is in my opinion, innit? And I'm not an expert in nothing, right? But I'm just saying what I saw. In my opinion, they're all out to get you. Don't trust them, none of them. But there's a few good ones out there, yeah. That, you know, I mean, I was this geezer's head boy at Bix in the Ville, and I used to go there every single day off my nut on text. Every day, like stubby text. Every single day I would. Any other screw would have been like, you, sacked, go. You're like, your eyes are like, my eyes are like that, you can tell I ain't been asleep for days. He didn't care as long as I did the job, and I always did it good, you know what I mean? So there's good ones out there. And on the flip side to that, you know what I mean, one time I got a job in the library in Bedford, cushy number, mate, sitting on my arse all day, just stamping books. Turned up there after having a zoo, got sacked instantly on the spot. Like, what? That was the thing, because it kicked in as I was walking. I had to walk back. It was like, oof. But anyway, I've already said that one. So these are going to be a couple of stories about dog screws, yeah, weirdos, mate. Well, the first one's a weirdo anyway. The first one's definitely a weirdo, and you know there's always going to be situations where it seems just totally unfair what you're seeing what's happening to the prisoner. You know what I mean? First story, I was in Warren Hill. Warren Hill was a YO, young offenders. First time I'd ever been. I got 15 months for 2 drums, burglaries. I got 12 months for one, a couple of about 3 weeks before I was getting out on that. I got an extra 3 months, and that might as well have been 3 years. I did both the burglaries, so I'm not begging sympathy. Warren Hill though, right? They're like sort of spurs. The wing I was on was like, so you'd have a spur there that would get gated off at night, and there'd be another spur. You know what I mean? And it's like a corridor you walk down. So like there's a row of cells, little corridor, another row of cells. Close. If I come out of my cell, I could lean over without even leaving the cell and just touch the other pad across, like, yeah. And you can send things underneath your door and just slide it over to your opposite, easy. You know what I mean? It's not like a big old kick it under you close. You know what I mean? And I don't know. This is just going from memory. 20 cells down there, maybe row of 10 and another 10. That's just from memory. I may be wrong, right? On the whole, it was quiet. Yeah, it was a quiet nick. Nothing happened. Wasn't an intimidating place to be. I mean, I was in Felton first of all. That was an intimidating place to be. Felton, Warren Hill, Chelmsford, and then Hollesley Bay the decat. That one sentence, yeah. And on my opposite, there was a geezer. There was a traveller boy, yeah, Irish traveller. Right, I forgot his name now. He was good stuff. We did the motor mechanics course together for a bit, and then I quit and ended up in doing the bikes. There's a workshop that you fix mountain bikes and BMXs, and then they send them off to like kids that need them. Yeah, I probably only left and went there because they showed a film at lunchtime saying that, but I don't know why I left it. But anyway, he was good stuff, right? And then one of the other jobs he got, I forgot what it was, but I don't know, a cleaner or something, and he worked and where this other officer, with this other officer, yeah, it wasn't just him and the officer, and they all had their own locker, whatever they was doing, they had their own lockers. Screw had a locker as well, yeah. And this traveller used to come back like once a week, once a day, once, I don't know, and just with a different bash mag, yeah, adult entertainment magazine, right? Out of this screws locker, yeah. Every like he'd come back, you know, the traveller boys talk and all that, yeah, fucking getting me right involved in what he's telling me, you know what I mean? Getting me right up close to the door as he's telling me and showing me. He used to nick one, and then he'd like replace it and take another one. He said the geezer's locker was just rammed with them, like stacks like that. There was nothing else in this geezer's locker. Screw. And he used to take one. Fucking, he'd have a look. I'd have it, but he'd be like, do you know the some of them were like proper hardcore animal ones, yeah. Like, okay, like he'd still bring them back and we'd laugh at them. You know what I mean? We know this screws in, like, we're not thinking anything's in this though. We're just thinking, oh, what dirty bastards, you know what I mean? Ha ha ha, laughing at it, yeah. But in reality, what's a geezer like that who's obviously got some urges working in a kid's prison for? Yeah, dodgy, mate, dodgy. Obviously you can't vet for that, because if you ask someone, you're like, you a perv? You're going to say no, aren't you? You're not going to say yeah. So, but like, I mean, his urges were that strong. He couldn't wait till he got home from work. Like maybe he was just getting so turned on, like on the wing, he couldn't. He had to run off, kept running off to his locker. It's disgusting, like, you know what I mean? I've done a video before about finding a screw stash in Pentonville, but this is an adult jail, and it was only a stash, of Nuts and Zoo and all that magazines, right? But yeah, this geezer was. I forgot what screw it was now, but he worked on my wing, the wing I was on. Yeah, wrongin', weirdo. In my opinion, just in my opinion, you're taking all that to work. You can't wait till you get home. You're working with kids all day. You've wrongin'. Only in my opinion. And what do I know? He was probably a lovely geezer, really. Another one. This is in Aylesbury, actually. I didn't even connect that was both in YOs when I thought of them, but this is in Aylesbury, long-term YO, young offenders, long-term. You've got to be doing over 4 years. I was doing 6. Yeah. I was there for nearly 2 years. Well, about 18 months I was there for. So I got nicked in 04, sentenced in 05, went there in 05, was there for about 18 months, and then left in 06. I was in Stockholm for 2 years. But anyway, in Aylesbury, there was some liberty taking. There was some liberty takers everywhere in Aylesbury, actually. Yeah, there was some liberty takers. Prisoners are going to be liberty takers, aren't we? We're prisoners. I was a liberty taker, a hardcore liberty taker in jail. But the screws, some of the screws were liberty takers. Like, and I never see just the pettiness that I used to see in there from screws, right? I mean, kids jail, YO. There's more. They try and make you be more drilled and disciplined than in an adult. I mean, the bed packs, right? So you got to get up in the morning, roll your socks up, put all your t-shirts in a square, all your socks in a square, like your boxes in a square, everything neat on your bed, and it's all got to fit perfectly on your bed and all that, yeah. And then and things like that. You've got to make your bed in the morning, like tight, like as if you was in the army and all that stuff, yeah. And then they come round. Certain screws would come around with glove on, testing for dust everywhere and all that, yeah. And I didn't even mind all that, really. It sort of teach you that be clean more than anything. Who wants to live in a toss pot, you know what I mean? But some of them would stitch you up. If they didn't like you, they just they'd pull your bed down, they'd pull your bed sheets back and make out you didn't make your bed, and then give you a red entry. It's called a red entry because it's red writing in your file. If you get 3 in a week or something, they take your telly and stuff like that, yeah. And like punished, like if you get 3 in a week, you get punished. It'd be like not even your fault, you know what I mean? And then they'd be like messing it, and it's because, and I've said this before, kids don't know their rights today, yeah? And we are kids. You're 18, you're 19, you're 20, you're 21. You don't know nothing. Now, I didn't know nothing. We're all know-it-alls. We all think we do, but we don't. We don't know nothing, yeah? instead of taking liberties, we don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know what our rights are. We're just going, oh, what? They've done me bed again. Feel like, you know what I mean? If you was an adult when that happened, mate, yeah, you would have what? You wouldn't even make your bed, would you? That's why they don't make you do it. You don't need make your bed, you get a red entry. What? Go away. But when you're a kid, you're sort of like, you're a born follower when you're a kid, aren't you? It's natural to listen to adults, so you do as you're told more. But it's one occasion, right? Got a little bit off the point. This screw, he was a dog, really, right? He wasn't a good. He was a bully. He was a bully screw. Forgot his name. Bully screw. I see him a few times, like give it and further to people to kids that he thought he was gonna be able to have over. But a few kids ain't small either. A few kids are built like brick shit houses, mate, and he'd fold in front of them, yeah? He'd fold every single time. I'm thinking of one particular geezer from Birmingham or Bristol that used to stick it on him left, right and centre at dinner time and say, I'll bang up when I want to bang up, go to the doors and all that, and he never used to say nothing to him. But he did to a lot of people, yeah? And one of the boys that used to pick on was sort of like near my cell, yeah. I'm only saying this because I was watching what happened from my cell afterwards, right? Dinner time. Screw was on him to make this kid bang up, yeah. This kid's got his dinner, going upstairs, doing whatever, not being quick enough, yeah. The screw's on him, bang up, bang up, bang up. I've watched this, yeah. I've got my dinner, I'm up on the landing, we're on the same landing. Kid's turned round in his cell with his tray, like, what? And the screw's just pushed him into his cell. Kid's dinner's gone everywhere, shut the door. He ain't got no dinner now, right? That's a big deal in jail. You're starving in jail 23 hours a day, trust me. Again, please, I'm not begging sympathy, but it just is what it is. They feed you just enough so you don't die, right? Don't believe all the stuff in the paper about all the great Christmas dinners and all that. They feed you just enough to keep you alive. So you spend most of the time starving. And if you ain't got food, if you ain't got a tin of tuna or a tin of noodles to bang up with, if you ain't got dinner, you're starving all night. Screwed. Pushed him back into his cell, flew back, his dinner's everywhere. He ain't getting fed. Right? And that was the thing. He's on the bell. Screw's just turning his bell off and all that, yeah. Deliberately not letting him get any food. And the other screws go along with it. Of course they do. This was Aylesbury back in the day. They probably, I don't know if they do it now. Maybe my perception of things was a bit wrong. I'm just telling you what I saw, how I saw it, yeah. Maybe I got it wrong. You know, after all, if you had 10 witnesses to see something, you'd get 10 different statements. So maybe what I saw was wrong. Anyway, next day or the day after or whatever, he's come out and he's not having it, innit? He's gone up to the screw, bang, chinned him, yeah. Long story short, he's chinned him, yeah, and straight off, bell's gone. Other screws see it, you know. It is right now. Now they're trying to get him down, yeah. Light skinned fella from Nottingham, I think. Now it's coming back a little bit more. Anyway, twisting him up, yeah. Now, you know, you have an officer on head. What is it? 2 on the arms, each arm, 2 on each leg or something, yeah. But there was 20 odd screws come running, yeah. And he don't want to fall on the floor at first, yeah. And he's like making the noises where he's trying not to scream. There's all these screws on him. And he's trying not to fall. They've got his arms, they're doing that, and they're twisting his arms, you can see it. Right? It did take you long to fall on the floor. This went on for ages. Do you know one of them was when they kept telling, where they go, calm down, as they're like squeezing and pushing and trying to snap it. Calm down. You always see them on these shows where they go, oh yeah, it doesn't know long-term damage, it hurts. Right? They're choking this kid. Well, that's what it looked like anyway. Maybe they weren't. Yeah. His arms and his arms and wrists are basically snapping, yeah, and you can hear him. This lasted so long up on the twos, yeah, that other screws were banging everyone up, yeah, as this kid was laying on the floor, right, with God knows how many screws on him. This kid, we've all got banged up. As I've got banged up, I've just kicked my door open and flap in it, yeah. They don't want no one seeing what's happening. You know the ones involved. You know, like when they go to someone's cell and they put the screens in front of the door so you can't see. But anyway, they didn't do this, but just saying. Why do they do that if they don't want you? If they're not doing anything wrong? Just in my opinion. So now I'm watching, yeah, and eventually they're going to this kid, calm down, calm down. They're basically carrying him, yeah, in the air with his arms and his wrists bent into all sorts of angles. He is screaming and shouting now. But how can you calm down when they won't let go of your wrists, right? And he's basically been carried downstairs now. He generally had a broken wrist after that. I want to say both his wrists were broke, but I can't. One of his wrists was definitely broken. One of his wrists was definitely in the cast. And this is a kid. This is a kid that retaliated after a screw basically mugged him off in front of everyone and didn't let him eat his dinner. But like made him drop all his dinner on the floor, pushed him in his chest really hard for nothing. Because he wasn't going as fast as what he wanted. And I think this screw took a lot of his issues out on his geezer, yeah, because like I said, I'm thinking of the Birmingham or Bristol geezer, our big old geezer. I used to tell him, I'll bang up when I want to bang up, yeah? And he never used to do nothing to him, so I think he used to take a lot of his anger out on the littler ones, yeah? Pushed him, didn't let him eat his dinner went everywhere. So the kid's only retaliated, trying to stick up for himself, and then he got his wrist broke. Kid, as well, I've got to keep saying that, kid. YOs mean kids. If you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat again. Adios.